Good evening and welcome to another edition of Bits and Pieces NYC. We're here bit by bit, piece by piece. We want to tackle all things New York, all things immigration, all things Caribbean, all things Latin American. All right, so please stay tuned and we will be right back. All right, give me a second there. All right, good evening again. This is Bits and Pieces NYC. Gentlemen, I know you've been on the podcast before, but please, for the sake of anyone new joining us, just quickly introduce yourself. Starting with you, Sukdeo.
Hi guys, good night. My name is Sharma Sukdeo. I'm the president of Phoenix Cricket Club, also the director of cricket for or the newest league around town, New York National Cricket League. Thank you for the opportunity, Anansi, for being here, and I hope we have a great conversation.
Okay, thank you. Telston.
No stranger to the show, Telston Johnson, player for Galaxy Cricket Club, also New York 11. It's a pleasure being here. Thanks for having me, Anansi.
All right. All right. So, how would you how would you describe your weekend and tell us what's happening with cricket at this stage? And anybody could take that one.
I'll leave that one to you, Sharma.
It was a very, very, very hectic weekend of cricket. Actually, there was a lot of upsets. It was some very good games, especially in the National League. So as I can tell you, New York 11 was one of the teams that was, rated up there and was, hoping to qualify for the finals, and they were upset by a Punjabi team, Punjabi 11, and that was a close encounter, a low-scoring game, but a very close encounter. That was, very exciting as well.
Okay.
We had another Punjabi team hitting out a West Indian team. Mary Perry knocked out MMZ, which was also a fan favorite. So this year it's been a very tough year of cricket for everybody because the league is so competitive, the games are so competitive. You would never know who's going to qualify or who's not going to qualify. But yeah, it was great, and so far we're winding down in a good way.
Okay, so it's been exciting. You could say that.
Whether you're on the ground or you're following on cricket clubs, you're on your toes.
Very, very exciting because I was there for both encounters, New York 11 and Galaxy. We just, we held the hot end of the stick on Saturday, and we were in for another skier on Sunday. Fortunately, Elite didn't hold, their head throughout the game, but happens that Galaxy came out on top, which it was a very, very tough one for them to digest. And for us as a team, it opened our eyes that going forward, knowing that the semi-final is this coming weekend, and then you got the final slowly approaching. You don't know what can happen. On that day,
Okay. All right, good, good. Nice to know we've got some good competition happening there. All right, gentlemen, today we're gonna deal with the time old question of what's going on in New York cricket, but let's take a little creative approach. You know let's set ourselves like outside one of them cake shop and thing in GT. Let's relax and let's see if we could gap this thing out. All right. Now I want us to kind of we're gonna draw on something from everyday life. All right, and we're gonna try and create parallels with that thing and cricket. Now the whole idea is that we want to talk about what do we need to to make cricket bloom. All right, to make cricket what it should be in New York. All right, so to do that, we're going to look at the delicacy and our approach to preparing this delicacy, and then we're going to mirror it with cricket. All right, so hear me out now. Now, Telston, for you, what constitutes a good chicken fried rice? Tell me about, break it down for me. Where's a nice chicken fried rice? What a good chicken fried rice got to have?
The first thing is the chicken. Right? The chicken. It's in order to get a good chicken fried rice, it's all about preparation.
Mm.
All right. In New York, some areas you'll use canned vegetables. For me, I'll go to Liberty.
Mm.
I'll get all the fresh vegetables.
Right.
Because we're gonna go the old fashioned way.
Right.
Proper preparation. Simple as it goes to cricket.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't prepare it properly, you would not get the result.
Right.
And that's where I would stand. I'll get all the right vegetables, proper preparation. That's all it is. And your food is gonna be, what you want it to be.
Okay.
My taste might not be yours.
Right. Sharma, it's interesting that Telston says first that we gotta get the chicken, and I was thinking the rice. What's your take? Because it's fried rice.
I think you're getting the fried rice because of the chicken. So I agree with us, and preparation is very important. But we also have to look at who you're preparing it for. Are you preparing it for yourself, or are you preparing it for, say, you have a restaurant and you're feeding 100 people? That's where preparation comes based on what the customer wants, or whoever's
No,
observing that.
If we were to put it to cricket, gentlemen, who are the cricketers? Are the cricketers the chicken or the rice? In your view,
The rice. That's the
right?
majority.
Because without the cricketers, you can't have a game. Period.
Exactly.
All right.
You can't get the fried rice.
Just chicken.
You just have chicken.
All right. So Sharma, let's look at the rice. We saying the cricketers are the rice. Let's get this out of the way. Do we have the right varieties of rice on the New York soon? Do we have the right variety of cricketers to make cricket something viable, something exciting in New York? Would you say?
Absolutely, no doubt. The talent is here. I say it every day. The talent is here from the youngest age to even guys up to even Tello is performing. Looking at his stats, guys of his age and his maturity. So there's definitely potential. The quality. Everybody is here. Everybody's hungry to play cricket. We all know New York is the mecca of cricket in the United States. So the rice is here. It's just how we're going to prepare the rice.
Okay. In your view, do we have the right varieties of rice, Telston?
Yes, we more than do. We have everything that is required for the cricket in the US of A. All right. And it's, let me just stray a second, from what you're saying.
Right.
New York, as we see in the recently concluded CPL,
Mm-hmm.
you have top performing players that did exceptional at the CPL level. They were plying their trade of cricket right here in the tri-state, and went over to the CPL, in which I'm pretty sure all they did was maybe a week or two of in-camp training.
Right.
But the competition is here. It's very competitive. So it's recognized by the other boards that you can go ahead and play your trade in the US, because of course the cricket is at that standard.
Okay, so you're saying there is true recognition outside of New York for the varieties of rice that we have growing here.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
Perfectly. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect examples are Chanapal Hemorrhage, Kulikesh Moti. They play cricket here locally. Moti plays for Galaxy.
Kennard
Lewis played for the Cavaliers. They all play cricket here year round, and that's where they develop. And it's good to see that in the Caribbean, and good to see that people are acknowledging that.
Okay. In terms of our use of fried rice as an illustration, where would you guys, you guys are involved regularly on the scene. Given what you need for fried rice, where would you put the admin? Would the admin be the chicken?
Definitely. Because they're essential for this fried rice to be cooked. Very essential.
Right.
Maybe inside the rice or on the side. In a lot of cases, we're gonna use the chicken on the side because we don't know who's vegetarian and who's not.
Right. But that's the question now. Do we have people who may have a lot of problem with the chicken on the rice? Do we have a lot of people who have problems with the administration?
The administration previously has been one of the main reasons for the failure of the cricket. The administration has really let cricket down in the whole. And this is not just, recently, like I said, and I mentioned it, a few times prior. If it wasn't for the National League bringing some form of standard to cricket, all right, around the tri-state, we would have probably still playing scrubby because nobody thought it best, given that there was a pandemic, to actually put out a tournament that would feature its players, Nobody thought about it. And that's the sad part.
Right. Okay. Folks, you're watching Bits and Pieces NYC. With us this evening is the president of Phoenix Cricket Club, Sharma Sukdeo, and Galaxy star player, Telston Johnson. We'll be back with you shortly. All right. Chicken fried rice. Let's go to the pots. And the pots I see as not the major grounds, the practice facilities. What's happening in terms of the practice facilities? Do we have enough pots to start prepping the fried rice? or bowls. Let's say bowls. Do we have enough bowls
We don't even have enough
to
frying
prep the
pan.
food?
We don't
Not at
have enough
all.
frying pan to prepare the fried rice, much less pots to train. So whatever we train on is what we play on, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we train on is we play on.
Yep.
All right. Now, how if we know that in prepping rice, we would have grown up and doing with little bush cook and thing. We could take an Ovaltine, an old Ovaltine can and make it into a pot, some old can and make it into a pot. Uh, are there any viable substitutions, Sharma, for the things that are necessary, like like a little practicing facility? Is there anything that can be created for whatever it is currently?
Well, to be honest with you, the topic of practicing is far off from the reality of what we need in terms of really game facilities. We don't even have
Mm.
whatever we have now could be practice facilities. They're not really gaming facilities. We're at minimum, if we could say that at least. We're at minimum. We need a lot more development when it comes to facilities, and that's something that it needs to be looked at. I think through the city or the state wise. It's not something that it's not available because we're such a melting pot in New York City, and there's so many different
Right.
sports that play here. All
Mhm.
the fields are multi-purpose, so you can't really claim one to say a cricket field. There are a
Right.
few, but they're not
Mhm.
enough that we need because the cricket players. There's a lot of cricket that plays here. There's a lot of teams. There's not enough for what we need to get to where we need to go. So that's something that we really need to look at.
So essentially, we don't have the stoves.
Mm.
You,
No,
you,
we're
you, we,
trying.
we, got,
We're
we got the
trying some wood
stove,
fires.
or we just got kerosene stove and fireside.
Yeah, we
We, 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 we,
basically we in the bushes trying to make do with what we have.
Scratching rocks.
Exactly.
right. Um. Now we know that bush cook sometimes could make the food can be tasty, right? You can get something nice out of a bush cook. As is right now, looking at it bluntly, rudely, what are the few good things? And I'll start with you, Telston. Right now, as it given the state of the pot and the cricket pot in New York, what few good things can we take out of it right now? What's happening that is, you know, that gives you hope, that gives you.
At present, in my opinion, the mere fact that you have the opportunity to go out both Saturday and Sunday and, you know, have the limited facility that we have and make the
Mm,
most out of it,
right.
it's a plus. It's very much a plus. And like I earlier mentioned, given the fact that, we showed up on numerous occasions and you played with grass to your knees, you know, you lose the ball. Now, what we're given, we would consider that what? Silver?
Mm,
We consider it silver, because we have actually played in copper for so long.
mhm.
So this by itself is a plus. It's something to look forward to. It's exciting. It encourages you to like wake up and say, hey, you know what? We got something to look forward to. And you can give in one every now and again when you show up and you see a bad outfield because it must have been the weather or something beyond management control.
Mm. Right, right, right. Now off camera we started to talk about the financial aspect of things. Do we currently have people who in the years that you guys have been involved? Has anyone showed a strong desire to be the purchaser of the needed ingredients for the pot,
Um,
or do just people just come from time to time and drop a little small piece and say, Go and get some oil and see where you can knock up there.
Nah, it's all personal gains. The reason why I would say, personal gains, ever so often they would have tournaments, like 1 day tournament that happens, every annually, 1 day,
Mm-hmm.
and the stipulations that comes with it, right, is that I am in a position, I'll bring my friend. All right. It's not about promoting the sport. It's about that day I have the parade, so I'm gonna reign. I'm gonna do whatever I want to do. So imagine giving an individual or individuals, should I say, that opportunity to control a league. You know what would happen? It's strictly chaos.
Right, right.
Personal gains is all it is for a lot of people. Very rare you would find people that are sincere
Mm-hmm.
about what they want to do. And again, if there is competition, they would find ways of strangling you because you know what? I want the stronghold in this. I
Mm-hmm.
must be praised. So that is why, you got to really look deep. You got to look deep. And, you have teams coming out of their pockets paying 4 or 5 thousand, dollars to invest in cricket. When you show up now, it's not about the team anymore. It's about the main sponsor who this money goes to. He don't give a damn about anybody else anymore. That money's already paid. Hey, I treat you however, you know. So it's hard. It's
So,
very hard.
so Shaba, what would you say? I mean, it's New York. It's like it's the melting pot. It's one of the top five or so cities in the world, right? Everybody from every cricketing nation is in New York. What is hampering that person who's willing to come and say, "Hey, look, enough money to install the oil, a good stove, and everything to complete this meal." What's hampering that you know the
From
coming of
my
that one individual or set of
right.
individuals?
From my experience, being part of it now with this new league national, there aren't really any individual. I mean, individuals with that kind of finances are normally business,
Hmm.
and majority of the businesses look at the cricket or whatever money they put into it as a business, so they look for the ROI, the rate of return, whatever they're
Okay.
gonna get. They're looking to get back something out of it. So
Hmm.
that's the issue that we have currently faced. And now, in the past, I know that might be an issue as well because money was spent and misused. Telston can
Okay.
tell you that money was
Right.
spent, money was misused. So the
Okay.
repetition from the eons ago is still going around. So that, as a newcomer, a new investor, you would be a little bit, you know, hesitant to put your finances out there, knowing what you know from before.
Mhm.
Now, as a new league national is trying to show the public, show the community that we're different. We're all about the cricket. We're all about the player. We're all about elevating what we have because it's not good enough.
Hmm.
So we need to prove that, and it's gonna take time. It's not gonna happen overnight. But I think with the support of the clubs make the league. People have to remember the clubs make the league. Without the clubs, you have no league. So you can't just take the club's money and then heck with you after that. You figure your way out. That's not good. That's not right, and that's not gonna get you anywhere. So those are the key things as running national league that we found that needs to change. And those are the things that we're trying to change that Telston notice as an outsider coming in. That's what he noticed. And I'm hoping that everybody else notice the same thing and it will get back to investors that will possibly want to come and assist us and grow the sport. And that's the only way. We have to build confidence or find
Yeah.
confidence.
All right. All right.
Once you have, like any organizations, once you have financial, you have a structured body, you have a governing body, you're gonna definitely attract businesses. You're gonna attract businessmen. Reason being is if I write New York National League a check for $20,000, at the end of the day, I should be expecting a 1099. So I can present it to my accountant.
Right.
So unless entities or like I said, National League is registered, all right, and the following the business administration formula, things are gonna actually work out, just like any other league. That is what we can only hope for. It's not gonna bring in a financial income tomorrow. Maybe once you start attracting sponsors and you start getting venues and putting up competition that just like everybody else, you're attracting, players, things are going to definitely look east.
Right.
Yeah. National is a 501c nonprofit organization registered to the state of New York. And we don't run this as a business. It is not run as a business. Each one of our executives have jobs, have family, and that's where our income comes from. It's not from the cricket. We don't look at it that way. And because the sport is never going to grow. We're building, we run it as a business, but we don't take income as a business. Yeah. All the profits per se goes into the cricket to develop the cricket. If you're building a business, whatever profits you make, you need to put it back to grow that business if you want to see the future. So that's where we're at right now. Because eventually we want to grow and we want to build and not just build our league, but build the clubs with us and build the facilities with us. Because those are the important things for the cricket.
Okay, great. All right, you're watching Bits and Pieces. And in the next few seconds, we're going to take a little pivot, on this program. We go here, there, and back there. We're going to come back to cricket. But recently, there was the U.S. Open tennis, and we reached out to a few of the fans in our community, who are into tennis. So we're going to hear from them. Gentlemen, are you into tennis? Do you follow tennis at all?
Not really. I'm not gonna lie.
You'll get the highlights, somebody say something.
You just find who is the champion and
that's
so
it.
Yeah.
That's it. You ain't really got that much time.
I mean, we're cricketers, but we love sports in general.
Love sports.
All cricketers love sports, yeah.
All right, here's one response.
Tonight, we're chatting with a very, very good friend who loves tennis, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Good evening, good night. I'm Paul Persaud. Nice to be here, and good to see you guys.
Yes, okay. All right. Paul, I'm going to start off. Before the start of the U.S. Open this year, who did you see as winning the men's and women's game?
Well, I had Novak Djokovic, and I had for the women's Naomi Osaka. They won previously, and Djokovic was going for the Grand Slam, so I was rooting for him heavily.
Oh, you were.
Unfortunately, he lost to a better player in the finals.
I mean, oh my goodness! All right, and you said a better player, so I'll ask you this. Medvedev, because I'm sure you watched the match. Medvedev came very close to winning that match with Rafa in 2019, right?
Yes.
Do you think that he's capable of completing a calendar slam?
Oh yes, come next year he can go on to winning the Australian Open, winning the French Open, winning the Wimbledon, and coming back and winning the US Open. He's young, he's tall, and he has a strong backhand and a forehand.
All right. What do you think of Emma Raducanu? What do you think of her game? And will she be around a while, or you think she'd fizzle out fast?
Oh, definitely. I wish her the best. I wish her to be around like the players of like Venus Williams and Steffi Graf. She came a long way. She had to qualify, and she won all the games. She won all the games in 2 sets. And she even won the finals of the U.S. Open convincingly.
Yes.
She beat Leah in 2 sets.
But at the time of the game, what were your overall thoughts about the US experience this year, especially given, COVID and all?
Well, I've been following U.S. Open and tennis globally for a very, very long time, and I look forward to seeing the games live. I go there sometimes just to get just to be there in the atmosphere, just to be at Flushing Meadow. It's exciting, and I hope that the best players prevail. And looking forward to exciting 2022 U.S. Open soon.
You got a final. You got a final question for you.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Tennis or cricket?
I'm rooting for both. Back in the days, I played cricket. Not on a professional level, middle class. At the same time, I followed tennis. When I was in Guyana, I followed tennis. I came over here. I played tennis. I played cricket. But I'm rooting for cricket and then tennis second.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay. You see, my man whole into his cricket too. But he loves tennis.
Yeah, cricket is my number one, then tennis.
And then tennis. Okay. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Sure. Thank you, and good to see you guys, and have a good evening.
All right, that was Paul Persaud.
Smart man.
And as Paul said, he loves his tennis. He's been following his tennis for years, but cricket remains his thing. So thinking about Paul and what Paul was saying there and his preference for cricket. How we got to find ways of introducing this sport. Letting people know that cricket, that this particular type of chicken fried rice is something that's going to be fun and enjoyable for most people. Now, the closing question for this evening that we want, because we're going to continue exploring this thing in various creative ways. So I'll go to you first, Telston. Do you find that there's consensus, that there's an agreement in New York as to, what do we need for a nice plate of chicken fried rice? Is there an agreement as to what we need to make cricket really just jump off? Among players, among administrators, is there any kind of consensus as to what will make the pot nice?
Vision. We need vision. We need people with vision. We need, great leaders. We need people, we need foot soldiers, right? We need guys that are going to be willing to run to the store. So pick up Bora, or even if it requires going over in Anansi backyard and pick up a stem of corn, we need that. If somebody got to run over by Sharma to grab the carrot, we need that. We need willing people. We need willing foot soldiers. And once we have that, we're going to get where we need to go. That is definitely what we need. Because if you don't have the ingredients, the pot won't get anywhere. Everybody's going to sit there and be like, oh, hungry boy, we're going on with this fried rice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, weren't you supposed to bring the carrot? Yeah, man, but I end up coming here for the food. We could cook it without the carrot. If everybody decide, well, we can cook without the carrot, we can cook without the bora, we can cook without the scallions, what we end up cooking? It might end up being shine rice and not fried rice.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so you definitely need the ingredients. And you need willing people to go grab them. So once we, as a cricketer, I'm speaking on behalf, as a cricketer and as a spectator, right? Once you see that there is an administration that is willing to put in the work, all right, and be there just as much as the cricketers are, because I can tell you, Ramesh is one of the individuals that I have seen wake up and leave his family, put the matin in his truck, drive to the park before the teams to get stuff there. That is the kind of foot soldier you need.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
and once you have stuff like that, you're gonna be all ready and prepared to go. So that is the kind of energy cricket has been missing for quite some time. And it's finally coming around. Hopefully we don't see somebody, who's gonna just wake up and come tomorrow and say, hey, you know what, I can do this. Let me go ahead and try to kick out the legs from under the chair that Ramesh is sitting on. And with the society that we have today, people are very short-sighted. We're gonna put a couple of dollars on the table, they leave, they run for that, and then what happens 3 years down the road? When that individual decide, well, hey, I had enough of this.
Right, right, right.
I managed to get where I need to be, and then Ramesh has to pick it up back. That means you're starting from ground zero once again. So we just hope that nobody lose sight, and we remain focused, and the energy and the liveliness of cricket will be there.
Right, okay. Sharma, closing with you. What would you add to, the whole issue as to whether there's an agreement amongst, the powers that see as to what is needed to make this place a nice place?
Well, I agree with everything that Telston just said. He basically summed it up for you there. The ingredients are here. Directly, I will speak for New York cricket because I'm not too familiar with everywhere else. But in New York cricket, the ingredients are here. The rice, the chicken, they're all here. But like Telston said, the support. Who's willing to go to Anansi's backyard to grab the corn? Ramesh is the president of NYNCL. He gets up 5 o'clock in the morning. It's a fact that I know. 5 o'clock in the morning to get to these grounds to make sure they're ready, they're prepared for the teams, because he knows the teams pay their well-earned, hard-earned money to pay the league and get the league running. So it's his responsibility to get the games in and get games in the right way as best as possible. There are going to be times where it's not going to be there because it's out of his control or our control. When it comes to the park departments, overbooking the permit or not cutting the grass when we tell them to cut the grass. But stuff like that does happen. But for us to move ahead and to move forward in this thing, we definitely need support. There are individuals out there that, they're a little bit green, I must say, or a little bit, here to cut you down.
Yeah.
and it's something that they just want to do that I don't understand why. Maybe they're envious. I don't want to accuse anybody or say anything. Maybe they're envious. I don't know what it is. But if you see a good thing going and you love the sport of cricket, that's why you're in it. Why not support it? The support is what you need. Ramesh needs support. And he needs support from all the clubs, all the leagues, businessmen out there that's interested into the game. That's the support that he needs. We have something good going here. He's been saying it. We have something good that's going here. The structure is there. Possibilities are endless. We just need the support. We need the support to make that fried rice.
Yeah, definitely do.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And it's a subject we're going to look at from time to time because it really has baffled me, since I started, going to games, getting involved from the media angle with what's happening in cricket, as to why, the Mecca, New York, the place with so many cultures, and the place with so many cricketing cultures. All right, what's really stopping us from, making something happen? So, it's something I aim to really strike at, and we need to keep talking. We need to keep talking about this, and of course,
Definitely.
even as we talk, have things be happening. All right. So thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time out again. It's been a pleasure as always having you. If there's anything you want to quickly say for a close, as to, maybe there's a game you want some folks to come out to or anything, just quickly say it.
Definitely. This weekend is another semifinal. Gearing up for the finals. next Saturday and next Sunday. The final should be playing at Paisley 150 in Rockaway. It's going to be an exciting final, because the teams are in there. This weekend is going to decide who's going to make it in. You never know. Good luck to you, Telston and Galaxy. Good
Thank
luck to
you.
everybody else playing. But definitely, Anansi, I want to say New York National Cricket League puts out the best final you would ever experience. So I would like to personally invite you and all your viewers and everybody's watching, come out and experience. Either Saturday or Sunday or both. Just come out and experience and you will know the difference.
All right. Thank
And
you so much. Yeah, go ahead.
sorry, and one of the things that I would advise you and your administration to consider, given that you guys, like you said, you're a registered entity and whatnot, like at some point, sit down, like bring everybody together, write a couple of letters and invite prominent business people, invite them out, sit down with them, have a dialogue, let them know, well, hey, this is what we are bringing to the table. This is what, and this is how transparent we are. We would love to have you guys on board just for the promotion of cricket, with no personal gains intended, and at the same time, I think it's gonna do a lot in the sense of development for the cricket. And another thing that would actually bring more to the podium, Anansi, the podcast is, if you can try to reach out to a few businesses as well, West Indian businesses,
Right.
invite them to the show. Let them express as to why it is that, they would reserve their feelings in the sense of sponsoring cricket and whatnot,
Right.
and what, the administrators from cricket can do to reach out to them, to get them
Okay.
more interested. It's like you said, the ingredients.
Right. Yeah. You definitely hold the power here, Nancy, to make changes. So as to bridge the gap, I must say there's
Yes,
two sides of the bridge. You're in the middle. You can bridge the gap.
Right,
definitely
right.
bridge the gap.
Definitely. So,
Okay, folks, this has been Bits and Pieces, and we want to thank Sharma of the Phoenix Cricket Club and Telston of Galaxy Cricket Club for taking the time out to join us. Gentlemen, good night, and thanks again.
Thank you for
good
having
night.
me. Good night.
Thank you.